Welcome to the OnPar podcast. I'm your host, Drew D'Alberto. I'm joined today by Michelle Hernandez from the Related ISG Group,
Yeah.
commercial real estate down in Miami. And she's also Sarah Brogely's, now Sarah Filipowski's counterpart for being the president of Legs Miami, which is the Ladies Executive Golf Society.
Yes,
And I
that's
know you mix business with pleasure,
yes.
just like we do here on the podcast. So why don't you start out by telling us what exactly you do and how that whole commercial real estate relates to golf, like we were talking about earlier, and then we'll jump into legs.
Yeah, definitely. So I am, like you said, the president of Legs in Miami. We're all about supporting women on and off the golf course. And me personally, I focus on commercial real estate. Ever since I got into commercial real estate, or into real estate, commercial was always really my main focus. There's such an aspect to the business investment portion to commercial that really fascinates me and is an amazing opportunity to build wealth. And at the end of the day, it's what drives business. So it's the part that really got me and was not into the residential side much. And then I came across Sarah in Boca through, networking, something that I do a lot of. It's really important, especially when you're building your business. And I've spent a lot of time in my first couple years in business, just really cultivating that network and those relationships. And through networking, I was introduced to Legs and I met Sarah at the Boca event, drove all the way from Miami, and I loved it. And I was like, we need this in Miami. So Sarah went ahead and connected me with Jillian, and here we are today. Started in November, and we've had an event almost every single month down in Miami since November, and amazing turnouts. Ladies are really enjoying it, and it's just so great to see how I've been able to support women in golf, but also how my relationship to golf is actually bridging a lot of connections for real estate as well.
That's really cool. And
Yeah.
then we met
Yeah.
actually at the only legs that I was allowed to attend. And funny part of that story is Sarah made me wear a kilt. So when we met, I was wearing a kilt, I
yeah,
believe.
you were really trying to fit in that day.
I was trying to fit in, and I definitely don't look the part for sure. So the big grizzly beard does not make me a good-looking girl for sure. But she needed some help that day, kind of getting people to navigate around the course, and I had been hounding her for months to let me come because I love networking and business. I mean, look at my podcast; that's all we talk about. So, we had a fun day out there. We played 9 holes together before we got rained on. and I met some really powerful business women, and I wish they would let me come back, but it's not in the cards. So
it's actually exciting. There's a lot of interest and support from men, which is something I'm extremely proud to say because, historically, golf has always been more male dominated and something where women haven't really necessarily had as much access to or as much comfort getting that access unless you grew up with it or your family played golf and you kind of had that personal introduction to golf. You didn't really know how to navigate the golf course if you're a woman. And, thankfully today it's changed. We've evolved and we really are getting a lot more support from men. And in that respect, ladies of Legs, we're trying to start our own ambassador program, and that's all about supporting men. So even like in August right now, I'm launching the Miami Ambassador program.
Okay.
And we're having our first co-ed event. And it's opening it up to males and business owners who are actually looking to support female businesses like Legs and who really do care about, supporting women on and off the course. So I think it's really important that, we continue to support each other, both business and golf.
Well, that's a cool concept, and I did not know about that. So I'm hoping I get the invite. I might even make it to Dade County for something like that because
cool.
Most of my business is Broward North throughout Florida and then out of state.
Yeah.
But I think for a golf event with a bunch of powerful business women and men who want to support that,
yeah,
I would probably make the drive. So don't forget my invitation.
No, definitely not. We have some cool things that we're really trying to do and incorporate some men because we have been getting a lot of feedback from men in the community that they would like to come out to one of our events. So we're not going to change and make you guys welcome to every event, because we do want to continue to, create an environment where women feel safe and comfortable being vulnerable, learning golf for the first
Yeah.
time. Because, like we all know, golf isn't that easy. It can
It's
be
got its
challenging even for
challenges.
the experienced player. So when you're learning for the first time, you don't necessarily want that additional male pressure. But if you're really there to support and, be a kind, helping person, then we welcome that, and, we're really grateful for that.
Well, that and support each other's companies, just like any networking.
Yes.
The whole idea is you want to build that relationship like we do on the golf course, and then get to a point where you can say, hey, you know what? I've got a client I'm doing a big loan for, and they really need some real estate in Dade County.
Yeah.
I have Michelle Hernandez to give a call to, whether it's a golf related business or not.
Right.
So how does that kind of intertwine? Obviously, golf and networking goes together with legs, because that's the whole point of the organization, right? You're bringing together female business owners that want to learn golf or have played before and want to get better, and then you're doing some group lessons with them. You're doing some drinks afterwards or whatever else on the 19th hole. And we have a saying that the magic happens on the 19th hole, because you may not, I don't think I even knew what you did until hole number 10, where we got in there and started having some appetizers and a drink. And then it came to, oh yeah, you do commercial real estate.
Well, isn't that the beauty of golf? I mean, personally, that's what I love about golf. It's, you always hear like deals happen on the golf course, but I actually feel like deals happen after the game. What happens during the game with golf is the connection, the the character watch. And I say character watch because you get to see someone's character and how they act on the golf course. I think tells you a lot about them. And I think the stories that people share on the golf course, like 18 holes with someone, that's a lot of hours. That's a lot more than a coffee.
Yeah.
That's a lot more time. And during that time, you learn about families, you learn about relationships, you learn about different things that people do. Like, it's not just about golf. And then afterwards, it's like, wait, what do you do again?
What do you do again?
Or like it might come up a little bit, but we're not trying to close the deal on the course. The close of the deal always happens after. And it's like, just like networking, it doesn't happen that first touch. But what I feel like networking misses is that you go to some networking events. If it's an hour that you're at that networking event and you talk to 5 people, you have so much more work to put in with those people before you get anything done with them, because you haven't built enough of that relationship to know if you're going to trust this person, to know if you're comfortable enough to refer them. And really, that referral comes from the relationship.
110%.
The best referrals come from, hey, this is a friend of mine. I really want you guys to connect. You do this, you do this. I think you guys can help each other out. Happy connecting. Like those connections that I make happen the fastest. Things move quickly. There's like a level of comfort that both people feel that makes it happen. And I feel like after you golf, that's what happens too.
Well, you can make a stronger introduction when you spent 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours than just, oh yeah, we had lunch one time, or we had breakfast, or we had coffee. It's, you know what, we played in a charity tournament together, or we met at Legs and I was wearing a kilt and everybody was laughing at me and we were having fun. So I love that aspect of it as well. So tell us about some of the changes that you've seen in commercial real estate as it relates to golf. We talked a little bit about, Tiger Woods and Pop Stroke and Putt Shack and all these simulator places and things like that. So go ahead and talk about that for us a little bit.
Definitely. I think some of the really cool things that are happening right now with golf and real estate and everything is technology. I think technology is affecting every aspect of our lives, and the technology aspect that's affecting golf and real estate is golf simulators. It's one of the biggest trends that's happening right now within golf, and it directly connects to real estate because a golf simulator space is retail space. So that's a commercial lease and a long-term commercial lease. Those are great leases to secure. So why does it make it a great lease? It's one, it's a long-term tenant. It's going to grab a lot of social attention. So coming back from COVID, social connecting social aspect to business is really important. And what's great about the golf simulators is that at minimum they want about 2,000 square feet to make it great. To really get like a medium sized golf simulating space, you're gonna want from 3,000 to 6,000 square feet. Talk to any commercial retail space owner, and they're gonna want someone to take 6,000 square feet or 10,000 if you're going for a really big space. Like, so I'm telling you, if you own commercial real estate retail space and you want that kind of tenant, reach out to me because they're looking for it. I mean, right now on Golf Now, you already have 22 locations throughout the U.S. nationally that are on Golf Now for bookings.
Wow.
And you're still charging $55 or more for a golf simulator 18 rounds.
Yeah.
But now you're selling food. Now you have an entire group of people there.
And
There's
booze. The markup on booze is exceptional.
The markup on
right?
everything,
so,
you know? So it completely like just creates this ambiance in your retail spaces that is a great fit. And I think it's something that's going to pick up with the announcement of Tiger Woods and his new golf league, which is basically the same thing as a golf simulator.
Right.
You know, it's taking what their league is and doing it with your own friends.
And I mean, I think Tiger can still be dominant in that type of setting where he's inside. He doesn't have to walk like he did at the Masters when he couldn't finish because his body's 90% metal now at this point after all the surgeries. So, you know, we were talking about, is he done? Is he not done? But if he's playing in a simulator, it's just a matter of the swing, right? He doesn't have to walk anywhere except back to, back to sit down in the nice, cushy lounge chairs that are made out of leather at that point. So.
I think it's going to be really interesting to watch how that comes to life. That's set to begin January 2024. So, I mean, that's just right around the corner. It'll be interesting to see how golf simulator spaces pick up. So if you're in commercial real estate, I'd watch out for that. And if you're looking to open a space, let me know.
Well, we've also got over 1,000 people net moving to the States still.
We beat Texas.
We beat Texas for the first time in, I don't even know, 50 years probably.
And we have less space than Texas.
And we have, I mean, we know, the traffic's gotten worse. We're more crowded. We've got infrastructure issues, let's say.
But life is still great here.
But businesses are moving down here. So they're coming from New York, they're coming from California, even Texas, Arizona, Nevada, the Midwest. I mean, so how do you leverage that for your business and how does that help you grow both Related ISG Group, your commercial real estate practice, but also Legs?
It helps you grow because one, having that kind of data to support, why there's this kind of growth is a positive thing. It's positive in the sense that we're going in the right direction. And if you are here for business, those kind of numbers are important. You don't necessarily want to invest somewhere where things are declining, right? And we're going up. We're going in the right direction. So if we're going in the right direction, we're great for investments, and social interaction is only going to increase. Because what happens when the population grows is you still need a greater sense of community. And when you need that greater sense of community, you're going to look for things like Legs. And aside from that is, we like doing activities with other people. We are social beings. But when women learn the benefits of golf like they are, it's something that's only going to catch fire like it is. I mean, the percentage of women going into golf has grown over 20% since COVID. And they say that a lot of that was from COVID and the time that we had, but it's continuing to grow. The Women's US Open was at Pebble Beach. I had the opportunity to play in the Ford's Tees golf tournament with Jillian, the founder of Legs. And what was so cool about what they're doing is, I mean, these are all women who either played in college, played professionally, and now are mentoring young girls and supporting them on their journey to play pro or play college, and kind of showing them like what worked, what didn't work, and like how they could do better at like navigating that process of going pro. And there's something that's for sure is that using social media to show people what you're doing is not going away.
Right.
And women do that better than men right now.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to argue with it. And I mean, some of the best referral partners that I have for my businesses are females. And sometimes they build a stronger relationship. Sometimes they just have a more of a knack for connecting people in general, not in every situation, but I see the value in building those relationships on the golf course. And let's talk about how and we talked about this in our second episode ever, because I realized and recognized from talking to people like Sarah and other people from Legs that I met when I met you, and people from my 6 Degrees Golf networking that are new to the game and they're looking to learn. A lot of women, from my experience, have been hesitant to get out on the course. They'll take the lessons, they'll do the group thing, they'll even take private lessons or go to like a golf tech where they can see their swing and things like that. But when it comes to saying, hey, do you want to go play golf this Saturday? Some of them, probably the majority in my experience, have been hesitant to get out there.
Yes.
So what are some ways that you're getting somebody who's never been on the golf course, maybe they don't even have their own set of clubs yet, how are you getting those girls out there for the first time and getting them over the hump?
So there's a couple of things I want to say about that.
Please.
I'm extremely passionate about this subject because I love going to golf tournaments.
Yeah.
Because I've always my journey into golf started when I was a beverage cart girl.
Okay.
So I used to be selling drinks and cigars and getting everyone all riled up for their golf tournaments. So I have this experience with golf tournaments from years ago.
Okay.
And I remember even back then, there was barely any women ever at these golf tournaments. But I'd see these guys and these companies and having these major companies come out for, conferences and things like that. And I'm like, where are all the women? Like, no women work for these companies, and they just say no to those activities. But every time I go to these golf tournaments myself as a player, I meet CEOs, I meet the business owner, I meet the decision maker. And it just kills me that women aren't saying yes to these opportunities. Now, take it back.
So my observation is somewhere in the... Okay, cool. All right, keep going. Yeah, keep going.
So what happens is, and this happens in business more than just in golf, is that if a man and a woman are both applying for a job, they're going to look at the qualifications for that job. A man will see that he has 2 of the 5 and he'll apply. A woman will look to see that she only has 2 of the qualifications out of 5 and she will not apply.
Okay.
So this is like deeply embedded in our psychology, where if we don't meet all of the criteria, we don't put ourselves in that position.
Okay.
So it's something that women need to kind of start adjusting, but it's something that men do without even thinking of it.
That's our egos talking, right? Like, I only have 2 out of 5. I'll learn the other 3.
And I've seen this at tournaments where I'm like, how did this guy have the courage to show up? Because has he even watched golf? Because that's not even a swing. Like, you couldn't even mimic a golf swing from a video.
He could kick it further, in other words.
That was so embarrassing. Like, it just blows my mind that some of these men will show up and have the courage to show up, not having ever touched a golf club, but women won't do the same. So ladies, if you're listening, please show up. Please just show up. I promise, for golf tournaments, it's a scramble. It's team play. You don't need to be great. You just literally have to show up, be a good sport, maybe fill a divot here or there, and that's it. It's not a big deal. Just show up to the tournament, connect, network, use it as an opportunity. So I'm really passionate about this because if I go to one more tournament and I see the guy who can't swing and only 3 ladies, I'm going to have to what am I going to have to do?
You're going to have to start dragging girls from Legs out there with you at some point. And I agree wholeheartedly because I have a few friends that I invite back to golf just because they may stink. It doesn't matter. But there's 2 things. They say yes when I invite them, so I don't have to call 50 people to get a foursome together. And they've got a smile on their face the entire time, no matter what. They're enjoying a beautiful day.
It's a great day.
Even though it's hot and they stink at golf, they're smiling. They'll pick up the ball and keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
We talked about
pace of play. Just keep the pace of play.
You can play badly as long as you'll keep up.
Right.
Right. If you lose 3 in the water,
just pick it up, pick up your ball, play best ball if it's your first couple times on the course. But there's no better practice sometimes when you're beginning than just getting on the course. But you gotta get over that, and you just gotta, especially when it's someone who knows you're starting. If they already know that you're a beginner golf, that's the best person to go play with. You're not gonna affect his game
Right.
because it's an individual game. And then if you're playing best ball, I mean, then you're playing best ball. You're only gonna get a better score possibly because you could be great at putting and he could suck at putting. So you could save the
The
score.
opposite though, because I can putt, but the rest is I don't know. So I usually tell the scramble partners, like, just get me on the green, and if it's a straight in putt, I'm making it. So yes, you had it, but a little bit backwards.
It goes either way
for me.
you know?
But yeah, most guys can drive the ball and they can't do anything else.
Which is great because if you could putt and you could chip, then hey, you could save the foursome. You could save the scramble team by being a good putter.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like,
and you'll get invited to the next one.
And you'll get invited.
That's
and
right.
Even if you're just there to be the cheerleader or just to, be a good person, just be nice. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, it's so casual. Like, it's
well, there's a couple other benefits. Number one, you're giving to a good cause.
Yes, usually.
Number two, there's usually a ton of alcohol and cigars and whatever else you want on the course.
There's so much.
And they usually give you some breakfast and coffee and everything else. But
your company's gonna let you go because it's like literally networking. Right. If it's not your own company putting it together.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
But what I have done is one of my last events, what I did instead of the lesson, I made it an on-course lesson.
Okay.
So even if you're a beginner, you're going on the course and there's going to be an instructor there to help you out, but we're all going on the course.
Yeah.
Because kind of to start breaking that idea. And it's like this idea that, oh no, I've only done one lesson. Yeah. Like, there's no way I can do that. And it's like, no.
You let them dip their toe in the golfing waters and just play a hole or two or three or five or whatever, so it's less invasive. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, we had the pro for 1 hour.
Okay.
So we got to do like 1 or 2 holes with the pro alongside. So, you have a pro there for a group of 4, and he's kind of be giving you tips and stuff. Mm-hmm. And now you're learning what pace of play is. Now you're learning what the green is, the fairway, the rough, the bunker, mm-hmm. All of that terminology. I could do as much social media posting about it, but you don't catch and capture that
until you get out there. Yeah.
And that's the most important part about golf etiquette is that you learn it on the course.
And I take your advice to heart for getting people out there. I invite them to a charity golf scramble, especially females, because they're like, oh, I don't want to, I only checked 2 of the 5 boxes, like you said. But the nice thing there is I took it one step further and told them, look, most guys can't putt and can't chip. So just get good at either putting or chipping, and then you're valuable because you'll hit a couple best balls, and that's what brings you back, whether you're playing your own ball or not, right? You have a horrible 17 holes, 18, you hit it straight down the middle of the fairway and then get on the green, and you're ready to play the next day.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be some groups that are super serious golfers, mm-hmm. and you're going to be able to tell the difference, and they're going to be honest. You either have your super serious golfers who are trying to get first place. That's not the tournament to sign up for. Okay?
No, because they're usually cheating. If somebody wins with a 48 or something ridiculous.
Don't sign up for that team. Sign up for a charity one. That's a scramble that everyone is like,
there to support the charity first, play golf second.
They understand that you're a beginner and that are there for a good time and not to be like, pretend like they're on the pro tour because they're not pros.
Yeah. And no, I mean, there's 1,000 charity events between.
There's over 5,000 golf tournaments that happen every year in the U.S.
Right, and 90% of them happen year round in South Florida, where we happen to be sitting.
We play year round,
just not in the afternoon because it's thunderstorming every afternoon.
Miami, even though summer is not a big tournament time because it's so hot. DJ Khaled has this tournament this week, I think, at Miami Beach. So
nice.
Yeah.
And you get to play a nice golf course. I forgot all about that part. You're not playing a Cooper Colony or, like a goat farm somewhere that they haven't kept up.
No, it's usually a nice course.
It's usually a really nice course.
Or a private course. Like there's one we got invited to at Ocean Reef.
Yeah.
You have to be a member or invited by a member to play there. So
Yeah.
Usually when you get those invites, like you want to say yes because those
We
are cool
we
experiences.
have the head pro from Via Meisner, which is a super exclusive place, coming on the podcast
Ooh, cool.
this coming week.
Are you getting a golf invite?
I'm working on it, but if we want to, well, but no, just to give our audience an idea, if you want to join there, you can join there. It's only $150,000.
Oh, okay.
But you also have to bring a friend that joins for $150,000.
That's pretty
So
cool.
you talk about private and super exclusive. Yeah, I may wait for that, the charity tournament invite for that one.
No, definitely. I mean, it's amazing how these private clubs have just shot up their member fees big time.
Okay.
I mean, the jump from the interest in golf post-COVID was real.
Golf is at the height of its popularity in our lifetime and probably our parents' lifetime.
Oh, for sure.
So
especially among women, among everyone right now.
Kids too. I mean, the first tee programs in Broward are full.
Yeah.
And they got waiting lists, and I'm sure it's the same in Dade.
I'd love to see kids enjoying the outdoors, which I feel like is such a...
My daughter was in Sean's class, and she wound up taking the older kids' class, and it was 90% girls.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was almost all females.
She's getting really good, isn't
she? She's hitting the ball, and it's going up in the air and straight, and she's 8.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
We might have to enroll her in legs as the youngest member ever.
Oh, I love that.
Get her into golf networking right away. She actually, Marissa.
You should look into Forward Tees for her.
What's Forward Tees? Tell us.
So Forward Tees is an amazing organization that was started by Gabby Powell, who was a professional player, played in college, and just felt that there was such a need to educate young girls that are playing on the process of going to play in college and scholarship opportunities and what it's like to play professionally and creating content to get a following and get sponsors and things like that. So it's all about mentoring girls. So you have the fellows who are golf women who already played in college or pro and now are mentoring young girls, and then vice versa, and it's all to raise money and to raise money for scholarships for those young girls.
I like it.
Which is an amazing thing. I mean, there's so much golf scholarship opportunities for women right now that it's you just want to educate them on the opportunity so they get the chance.
It's got to be getting more competitive with the popularity, and especially overseas. I mean, you look at the LPGA, and it's dominated by Asia, right? I mean, the Asian females are dominating the LPGA right now, which is
go USA.
We got to get those USA chicks up to speed, up to par.
Yeah,
so,
up to par.
Yeah, so Michelle, it's been an absolute pleasure having you today. Thank you so much for coming up to Winners Award Group Showroom, where we're now shooting the podcast from one of our sponsors.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate. Why don't you tell our audience how they can get involved with Legs in Miami, and then also how they can talk to you about commercial real estate at Related.
Yeah, definitely. So for Legs, you can follow us on Instagram, which is at Legs Golf Miami, Florida. And then, ladies, legs.golf is for the website where you can get access to all the information on Legs and events that we have coming up in different cities. We've grown into Houston, Connecticut, New Jersey recently, so we're not just in Florida. Florida, we have Orlando, Tampa, Boca, Fort Myers, Miami, and Jacksonville.
Wow.
So we're definitely growing. We're looking to open Atlanta, LA, and one more that's coming up. So
okay.
We're really growing fast, and we're getting attention from ladies all over that are really looking to start new chapters. So if you're out there listening and you want to open a Legs chapter, reach out to me. You can reach my personal Instagram is Hernandez Sells Miami, so HERNANDEZ Sells Miami. That's where you can kind of catch me for real estate and just my life. And and if you need any other information, we'll put it in the show notes and stuff like that.
100%. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
It's been a true pleasure.
No, I love it.
And we'll have you back anytime you want.
Anytime I could talk about golf and real estate, I'm here.
I love it.
Thank you.